For an arithmetic sequence, a sub 7 is 74. If the common difference is -5, find a sub 1 and the sum of the first 30 terms. Okay, so we need two important formulas here. First off, for an arithmetic sequence, you have a sub n equals a1 plus n minus 1d. That is for finding the term, and then you have s sub n is n over 2 times a1 plus an. So this is for the sum of the adding up, and this is just for the nth term, not added. Okay, so I don't know if that, maybe I shouldn't put nth term, just the term, not just the terms, not them added up. How about that? That's more clear. Just the terms. So the top formula is just the terms, not them added up. The bottom formula is the sum. It's them added up. So here we go. They're telling us the seventh term. That says the seventh term is 74. So I'm going to use this formula because this is the formula for just finding the terms, not adding them up. That'll be the second part where we add them up. A1 plus n minus 1d. Remember, d is the difference, stands for difference. In other words, it's the jump from term to term. And that is, the difference is -5. So I'm going to plug in for n here. I'm going to let n be 7 there and there. Why? Because that's what they're giving me, seventh term. Remember, n is always the ordinal number, seventh, like it's an ordering. It's almost like an address. So a sub 7 is a sub 1 plus 7 minus 1 times d. And what is d? Minus 5. We now know, don't we? Let's go back here. D is minus 5. Okay. So let's now, what is a sub 7? A sub 7 is, we can plug in for a sub 7 what they told us. The seventh term, a sub 7, is 74. So that's 74. A sub 1, we don't know that. In fact, that's what we're trying to find. 7 minus 1, that's 6 times minus 5. 74 is a1 minus 30, right? 6 times -5 is -30. Finish getting a sub 1 alone there. Add 30 to both sides. There we go. And so, we're almost in business. A1 is 104. So we got A1. A1 must be 104. All right, so now what are we going to do? We've got A1. A1's 104. That means that's the first term in this sequence. So now we're on to part 2. So in the second part, we're trying to find the sum of the first 30 terms. The sum of the first 30 terms. Let's write, so we're going to use the sum formula, clearly. But let's first write out what we know. We now know 104 is the first term. Right? That's what it means. A sub 1. First term. So the first term is 104 plus, what's the next term? Well, we know the difference is -5. That's the jump from term to term, meaning it goes down by 5 every time. So this would be 99. And then down by 5 again. This would be 94 plus ... And that's how the sequence goes. We're adding them up. It's called a series when you're adding them up. So we're adding them up, and we have how many? 30 terms. Find the sum of 30 terms. That's what they're asking us right here. The sum of the first 30 terms. So how do we do that? Well, now we're going to use that sum formula. Let's grab this sum formula and bring it down. So S sub n is going to equal n over 2 times a1 plus an. So what do these different parts mean? This means the first term. This means the last term, or the nth term. And n, what is n? Right there. That's the number of terms. So the number of terms over 2 times, in parentheses, the first term plus the last term. So what's the number of terms? Well, 30 terms. So that's 30. What's the first term? Well, we just did a bunch of work to find it, 104. Plus, I don't know the last term here, do I? I don't know a sub n. How am I going to find a sub n? What am I going to do to find a sub n? Well, here, let's bring it over here. So, to find a sub n, I am going to use the a sub n formula. So again, we go back, and again we grab the a sub n formula because that's what we need, don't we? We need the a sub n formula. And that is a sub n is a1 plus n minus 1d. Trying to find a sub n right here to finish off our problem. a1, the first term, got that, 104. Plus n, now what was n? N right here, 30. We're trying to find the 30th term. Times d, what's the d? The difference from term to term? The d is negative 5. Jump from term to term. Negative 5. And you can even put in, if you want, really, this n is technically 30 in both places because you're finding the 30th term, the last term. So it's 104 plus 29 times negative 5. It's 104 minus, what's that, 145. So the 30th term is minus 41. So that's the 30th term. That's the 30th term in our series. 30th term is negative 41. And it's the last term in the sum. In the sum of the first 30 terms, isn't it? It's the last one in the sum of the first 30. Right? We're adding up. We're using this formula. We're trying to find the sum of the first 30 terms. We're using this formula. 30 is the term number, right? It's a number of terms. And 104 is the first term. A sub n is the last. So now we have, let's finish it up. Now we have 30 over 2 times 104 plus, and now we know the a sub n. The a sub n, the last term, 30th term, negative 41. That's what all that work did for us. Is to bring us to here, negative, oops, make that a little better, 41. So S sub n, the sum of the first 30 terms is 30 divided by 2, 15. 104 minus 41, I don't know. Let me use my calculator. 63. So 15 times 63, I'm getting 945. There we go. There is the sum of the first 30 terms, 945. So that was a lot of work. We had to keep working between the sum formula and the term formula, right? The a sub n formula finds just the terms, not them added up, and the s sub n formula is the sum of terms. We had to go back and forth, back and forth. There we go.